Hey y'all, I'm back. I have a February update on my low consumption challenge. Uh the first update is I am realizing $400 works really, really well for the winter and fall time because of the way I cook. I cook very seasonally. We eat a lot of squash, we eat a lot of potatoes, we eat a lot of celery, a lot of cabbage, a lot of carrots, and then like the summer weather starts to hit, and it hit early this year, and all I want is salads and bell peppers and radishes and cucumbers and like all sorts of fresh things. And so it's been hard to stay under the $400, and I haven't in 2 months now. And so we are also like, the other thing is I'm eating more than I've ever eaten in my life. I eat all three of my meals at home, or from home, I should say. I pack all my meals. My husband does not eat all his meals from home. My daughter does eat, I would say, about 97% of her meals from home. And my oldest, that's complicated, but she eats generally one meal a day from home. So I am eating the most out of everybody, but I am eating pretty much a lot of it. Last budget we bought a thing of 2 pounds of mini bell peppers, and my daughter said she had 4. No one else had any, and I put like 6 in a meal one night, but the rest of them were eaten by me. So like, I'm eating a ton of fresh fruits and vegetables right now, and because of how much I'm working out, I'm eating a lot more. I'm also realizing that a year is way too long of a goal. My life changes regularly. My body changed over the last 4 weeks because if you look at my videos, I've been doing a fitness challenge that I created myself for. I want to hike further, so I created it to hike further, but it has daily step counts, strength workouts, running, all the things. So my pants were falling off. Like, my body's changing. My husband is also working out again because he had a procedure on his back and he finally feels well enough to work out. And so that brings up the other thing is he because he wasn't working out, he quit his gym membership, and now he is working out in the gym in our garage, but it doesn't have everything we need. So like, we're gonna have to slowly add to that. And like, I don't know, it's just like our lives are shifting and changing, and I need to figure out how I want to categorize this low consumption challenge moving forward, because at this point it's just a normal consumption challenge. So I mean, it's lower, definitely. I see, like, I've watched some of those like compilation videos of people's grocery hauls. I'm definitely spending under what everyone else is spending that I see of these grocery hauls, but I'm also not like seeing everyone in the world's grocery hauls. So like, I'm spending below what the government says is a thrifty plan, which is really where I'd like to be, but I don't know. It's not really a low consumption challenge at this point. I don't know. So, I don't know. Things no longer feel like they fit in my household grocery budget. And I don't feel like I need to expose every cent I spend on the internet. That's not something I feel I need to do. So a lot of these things don't have prices today because I just wrote down that I bought them, and it's not, you don't need to know how much I spend on them. Like, it's going to cost different where you shop anyways, so it doesn't matter how much I spent on them. I want to continue these monthly updates, but I don't know how I will be restructuring it. Will I continue to be calling it a low consumption challenge? Will I just, like, I don't know. Like, maybe if you have thoughts on my consumption, if you've been watching some of my grocery hauls, if you watch this and you're like, that's still lower consumption than a lot of people, like, maybe it is a low consumption challenge. But also, I know for a fact that like people on a lower income than me are not buying some of these things because they would be out of their expenses. So it's not like, I don't know. I don't know how to restructure this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But my goal was to stop impulse buying, and I haven't really been making impulse purchases. In fact, the few impulse purchases that I have been making are food impulse purchases, and they're all getting eaten. As well as I bought a sweater out of impulse because it was $7, and honestly, I've worn that thing so many times. Like, it is so comfortable. So, I didn't really, I like, that was the goal, was I wanted to stop impulse purchases, and I haven't really been making impulse purchases, and like, there's some things on this list that I wanted but didn't buy, but I talked myself out of them, and there's still one that I'm like thinking about, and I've thought about it a lot, and I'm like, but I don't need it, so I am not buying it. So I don't know. I don't know if you have thoughts on this. I would love to hear them in the comments because I don't know what I'm doing with this yet. So how much did I spend in the month of February on grocery items, things from the grocery store that I bought in my regular grocery hauls? I will say this is very close to the number because my husband did a little bit of the shopping this month, like random shopping trips, and he never gives me his receipts, and so a couple of the receipts got lost. And so I think this is very close to the number. I tried to like go into the ads and look at how much we would have spent and like search online because I knew what we spent. So total should have been around $779, which is under $800. That's fantastic. That includes dog food, cat food, paper towels, tissues, like quite a bit of meat, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm feeling good about that. The thrifty plan for the USDA for the government is $1,000, and that doesn't include household items. So I'm feeling fantastic. One of these days, if I had all of my receipts, I was going to calculate how much I spent on food versus household items. But and I always, whenever people ask about grocery, like how much we're spending on groceries, I always tell people my grocery amount is included in household items. Because I recently saw a video that was like, you should have a separate budget for that because you're like skyrocketing your grocery budget. And I'm like, well, my grocery budget is stuff from the grocery store. If I separate those categories, like, I'm going to be having to go through my receipt and be like, I spent $12 out of this budget and $5 out of this budget, whereas I could put it all in one budget and try to keep it under a certain amount each month. That feels really doable to me versus like trying to categorize each item on my receipt. That just feels like a lot of headaches, and I don't want to do that. So I don't, but I do always tell people it includes household items. I also did spend some money going thrifting. I spent $48, mostly on athletic clothes and summer clothes for myself. 2 of the athletic items that I bought ended up not working out, and it was too late to return them, or they were so like, one of them was $1. Am I really like, and it's the place I buy from supports homeless shelter. Why would I try and get my $1 back from them? I'm not going to do that. So I just am going to redonate the item back to them, and they can resell it again for another $1. And I actually did declutter quite a few unworn items that, like, there was a set that I bought last year when I first started working out that was like pretty cute when I bought it, but then like when I was working out, it ended up being kind of annoying. Like the bottom, people who like flared legs while they're working out, it like gets in my way, and it's like flapping around, and it just drives me absolutely nuts. I absolutely need straight legs for skinny legs for working out. I also just prefer it in general, but like they were flared, they were like open flappy on the bottom, and they were just they drove me absolutely crazy every time I wore them, and they weren't even long enough to cover my ankles. So when I did like leg days with that, and like I had a strap on my ankle, like I had to make sure I was wearing tall socks, because otherwise my leg was just gonna get torn up. So yeah, so I decluttered some items, and then I also got some workout equipment from the thrift store, a natural light lamp, which studies vary on that, but I'm trying it just to see if it helps at all. And then I also got several items off my thrift wish list, which I keep a thrift wish list. I got several items for the house and a couple items for myself that I wanted, like a red bag, a big oversized red sweater. This was a more expensive because of we did a Goodwill trip, and that was the most of this. I generally shop at very small local thrift stores because I generally don't spend over $1 per item there. When you go to Goodwill, it's about $5 per item there. So that was more expensive because of that. And then one of the items was $5 from there, and I couldn't even return it because it was too late. I would return stuff to Goodwill because of the way they are run as like a corporation and not a charity, but it was too late. So I didn't go get my $5 back, unfortunately. I will not be donating back to them, though. I donate to the small local thrift stores that act as charities or are actual charities. So, and then we got some lunches out. We went to Panda Express one day for lunch, which I think that was in the beginning of the month, and it was funny. My daughter, who is absolutely obsessed with Panda Express, we go to Panda for her birthday every year. In fact, her birthday's coming up, and we're going to Panda for her birthday. She told me she likes the Panda fake away that I make better than the Panda there. So I'm surprised she doesn't have me making Panda for her birthday dinner. We also got like her a corn dog meal from the grocery store one day while we were out and about. And then we got a Costco lunch. And then my husband and I went on a hike. The video is up on that. It's our celebration of 13 years. And afterwards, we went and got Five Guys for lunch. So it was cheaper because we didn't have our children with us. My creatine subscription renewed. I thought I canceled it. I then went through that morning when I saw it renewed, and I tried to cancel it, and they didn't even give me the 3-day, hey, your subscription is coming up if you need to cancel it or change it. Like, I was so frustrated. And so then I tried to cancel it, and I'm like, something is wrong, because it's still, like, I didn't get a notice in my email that it was canceled. So then I went back and checked, and it still wasn't canceled. So I like tried to cancel it again, and there's like a teeny tiny button that I missed, a little like click box that I missed each time, and that is why it has not canceled. I canceled this over 3 months ago, and yet it is not canceled because I missed a button. So I've canceled this thing 3 times now, and it was the hardest thing to cancel. It was like 4 pages of trying to cancel it. I mean, literally, it was like 4 pages of trying to cancel it. I was so frustrated. I'm not even going to say the company because they make good creatine, but if you try to cancel from that company, I assure you, it's just a pain in the butt. So always make sure you get that like cancellation email, because apparently I didn't get it last time, and yeah. So I now have way too much creatine. My husband is taking it too now that he's working out too. So we have 2 90-day supplies, and then one that's like we've been working on. So we have a lot of creatine to get through. And then I bought 2 pairs of leggings because my pants were falling off. I do need to buy at least 2 more pairs of this size leggings, but also like I don't know if I want to quite do that yet, because I'm afraid I'm going to need a smaller size in another month or so. So I'm a little like, I'm trying to put it off. And because it's becoming shorts weather here soon, and I have quite a bit of shorts. So I did also buy 2 pairs of shorts. They were a short pack. They're the yoga shorts. I prefer those for working out in the summer. I like running in them. I like strength training in them. I don't mind hiking in them, but a lot of the times I prefer my like hiking shorts. Uh, we bought a basketball. It was $4 on disc clearance at the store, and my daughter's in OT, and one of the things that she has to do for OT is be able to dribble a ball back and forth between her hands 20 feet down a hallway, and then she'll pretty much be done with OT. And so my husband got this second basketball so that they could do the drills together because he's a basketball guy. Really funny backstory about me and my husband. My husband was a prep when he was in school, all the way through high school. He was a basketball player. He played a lot of sports. He was a good religious kid, and yeah, and we were great apart, but we never met because we never actually went to the schools at the same time, because of where he went to school and where I went to school. We did end up going to the same schools, but not at the same time. And I also had a very like chaotic childhood, so it was like I was an emo kid, and like I was really like depressive and like really like just chaotic. And I didn't do drugs or anything. I was really against that because my mom was a drug addict and a alcoholic, and so I was really against drugs and alcohol. I did drink some when I was a teenager, but not very much. And yeah, so there's actually a friend of ours who knew both of us. She was an emo kid like me, but she went to church with him. And when we started dating years later, I was 23 and he was 22. So I was out of my emo phase, and he was no longer, I mean, he was still a fitness guy, but he wasn't really like preppy anymore. But that's when we met and started dating. And she like, she's like, you two are together? Like, it was just the weirdest thing to her. So yeah, so he's like a basketball guy, preppy guy, and I was an emo girl. He has one tattoo, and it's our wedding ring, and he only got it because I lost my wedding ring in an accident on the river where I almost died. And so we didn't want to pay $1,000 when we could tattoo it on our fingers. He kept taking his off to go lift anyways, and I kept thinking he was going to lose it, so this was just a good solution all around. So that's his only tattoo, and I'm covered in them. So we're we're good puzzle pieces. I'm all emotion and he's all logic. Anyways, just a snippet about my husband and I. I also bought 2 crop top sports bras. I am loving them. I bought 2 last year for hiking, and now I'm just obsessed with them. I'm gonna live in them all summer long. They're really great for hiking because I can throw on my sun shirt over them and it won't be too hot. And then if it gets like really hot in the sun shirt, I can just take the sun shirt off, and then I have like a crop top on. And then if we go to a restaurant afterwards, I can take all that stuff off and be comfortable in a crop top. I wear them walking. Like, I walk so many steps every day, and I go on so many walks regularly, that it's nice to just be wearing a sports bra at all times. So I'm loving them. And so I'll probably pick up a couple more versions. I'm just waiting for the right colors to come out. I also bought a new sports bra. I did go through when I went to the thrift store, and I bought used sports bras, and several of them worked, a couple of them didn't, but I treated myself to a new sports bra. I have been really consistent, and I just took progress pictures, and the consistency is paying off. Like, I can see a huge difference in my body. I'm recomping it. I have not lost a single pound, but I am really ecstatic with the work that I've been putting in, and yeah, it's paying off. So I treated myself to a new sports bra. And then I decluttered 2 pairs of leggings that don't fit me. I looked at my husband and I said, I'm going to believe in myself. I'm going to believe in the fact that I have been consistent and that I'm going to stay consistent. And I'm going to take these pants that no longer fit me, and I'm going to give them to the thrift store, and I'm not going to hold on to them in case I gain the weight back. even though I didn't gain or lose any weight, I should say, in case my body, I don't know how to put that. Yeah. I also bought my husband some undershirts. I put that in my grocery haul, but I did not include it in that how much I spend. I did in the grocery haul, but I ended up taking it out because, like I said, I don't know how I'm restructuring this, but it just didn't feel right to put all this clothing in our grocery household budget. And it wasn't, none of these things were impulse purchases. The leggings were things I needed. The shorts were things I needed. I guess the basketball was a little bit of an impulse purchase, but honestly, in the long run, it's for my daughter's medical health. So the crop tops were things, sports bras were things I needed. Mine are actually the ones that I bought last year are already getting too big, so I bought them in smaller sizes even. And then the sports bra, something I needed. I really don't have enough sports bras. I'm going through one every day, if not two sometimes. So, and then my husband's undershirts, his were like, we just threw a couple of them away because they had big holes in them. A lot of them are really stained and really gross, and I need to get some bluing treatment to help them, but he needed some new shirts. And then this last thing that we bought that I didn't count in the February budget was a set of dumbbells from Costco. This was a present for my husband mostly. He is a fitness guy. He has always worked out as long as we've been together, and we've been together for 13 years. And the only time he hasn't worked out is when he's been in too much pain to work out, because he has chronic pain and like has a really bad back, and if it like goes out, he can't work out. Well, last year was just like really bad, and he couldn't work out at all last year. And so like he's back at it, and he's really excited, and he's using our home gym. And so like I said, there weren't things in there that he needed, and so one of them was the dumbbells. He does a lot of dumbbell working out, and so we got the dumbbells for him, but we have both been using them. I've added farmer carry into my workout routine because it was something I needed to work on, hand grip strength, and like also like core strength and shoulder strength. All the things just seemed like a really, and the dumbbells are like such a huge part of that. I also changed how I was doing my bicep curls and using the dumbbells instead. I have added into so many things with the dumbbells instead. My Palov press, I prefer it with the dumbbells. So they have gotten used regularly, like really regularly. So I am ecstatic. I also was capped out where I was previously because we only had 8-pound dumbbells, and then it went up to 25 pounds. And so how am I going to progress from 8 pounds to 25 pounds? Heck no. And so now we have a much bigger set that has like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. So I'm not capped out as much as I was before. We will have to add more. And there's more things we want to add, like kettlebells and higher weight dumbbell weights. I would like to get a Stairmaster eventually. We're thinking about buying a newer treadmill this year, spending about under $1,000, but the treadmill we have is a Facebook Marketplace situation, and it's not the greatest, and I've been running more and he's been on the treadmill more, so it just makes sense to buy us something nicer. So this is where where we're running into problems. Like, we are using our gym more, which means we need to upgrade some of the equipment. I can't stay on a low consumption challenge when I need to upgrade my treadmill. So I also just I keep trying to do this to myself where I'm like, I can do anything for a year. Girl, a year is a long time. And all these people who are making these no buys for a year, half of them are going to fall off in February. Not to be mean to any of you. That's not a judgment. That's just cold hard facts. Because that's what happened to me. I fell off in February. It's just what happens. Restriction leads to binging. You restrict yourself for even a couple of months, and then you start binging on things you didn't need because that's what your brain says. So I restricted for several months. I didn't start binging, which is great, but I don't want to start binging on products. So I love the idea of continuing these updates because it keeps me accountable. Like having this list of things I finished, having this list of things I bought throughout the month, things I wanted but didn't actually buy. Like it's very, like it helps me keep accountable. So I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do with this. But that's all the things I actually bought this month. And now on to the things that I finished out of my house. One that I'm really, really proud of is cacao nibs. I bought those in Costa Rica when I went to Costa Rica in the end of 2023, beginning of 2024. They were still, like, I tasted them. They weren't rancid or anything. They were still fine. But, I am not going to replace those because they took 2 years to use. So, no thank you. We finished a bottle of Nivea lotion. This one, so at one point, I was using the lactic acid lotion, and my daughter got it in her eyes one time, and she was so freaked out by it, she refused to use it on any part of her body. Well, so I just had her using this Nivea lotion. Well, then I stopped using as much of the lactic acid lotion, and I had other lotion out, and so I finished mine in January, and so I was helping hers finish the Nivea, and so we finished that, and we went on to a different one. Still no replacement for lotions. I will talk about another one that I used up, but I have 2 more still to use up, and I have a solid lotion bar, and I put that in my car. I just thought that was a good place for it, so I'll use that up in there, but that is in use now. I did think I wasn't going to be able to buy lotion until like November. I'm thinking probably by May or June I'm going to need lotion. I used up the K18 hair treatment. I did love this hair treatment. If you need a hair treatment, I really recommend the K18 one. It is expensive, but it's nice. I am currently trying to go without it and see. I am trying the Cantu treatment, which is supposed to be made for like African American hair, and I'm like, if it works for their curly hair, it's gotta work for mine, and my hair has been incredible with it, so I'm gonna keep using that one. So, and it's like a leave-in treatment, conditioner, mask, 3-in-1 thing. Like I use it as styling cream, and my hair just loves it. Like it's really looking good lately. This is like, I washed my hair on Saturday and it is Monday, so it's looking good. We used up a thing of scrubbing bubbles. I buy this in bulk from Costco, so I have more. We also used up a bottle of regular maple syrup and a bottle of table syrup. I bought replacement from Costco of the table syrup, and we're not going to buy my maple syrup anymore. We're all just going to share the table syrup. I was doing this previously, and then I started splurging and buying the maple syrup. And these little things are what kind of bring your grocery bill up without you noticing, is you're buying table syrup and maple syrup. So I'm just buying the table syrup now. I used up a couple of pore strips. I'm not getting a replacement. I don't really like them. I have an AHA BHA toning mask that works a lot better than those things, and so I just wanted to use them up, so I used them up. I had a little bit of Lumi deodorant left. This is kind of complicated. So one year I was working for this company where I had to be scent free, which is actually technically not even legal to do. And then I'm pretty sure I was let go, I was laid off because I wouldn't go fully scent free, and I never agreed to it in the first place, and I was like told one thing and then later told another thing. But either way, so I had scent free deodorant. I bought the Lumi to replace that scent free deodorant when I used it up, and the Lumi was doing really good for a little while, and then I was like, man, I don't know why, but I think I'm going through perimenopause. I just stink lately. I just stink. And I kept having to put on the Lumi. Well, then occasionally I'd get this rash behind my arm, and I didn't think anything of it, but it was just I was just stinking. Well, one day I was like, I'm tired of stinking. I think I'm going through perimenopause. I think I need my husband's deodorant. I need something stronger. So I tried his deodorant. The rash went away and I stopped stinking. So I threw away the rest of that Lumi deodorant and I'm not going to buy more. I have a friend who loves the Lumi deodorant, swears by it. It's the only thing she buys. For me, it did not work. So this is where like individuality comes into play. And just because I'm saying I hate the Lumi does not mean that if you use it, it's a bad thing and it's bad for you. It's good for you and it's not good for me and I'm going to use something else. Thankfully, when I went through that scent-free thing, I gave my daughter a thing of my scented deodorant. She never used it. I found it and I was like, I'm just going to use the rest of this. So I'm currently using that and I don't stink. So Lumi's not for me. I also probably will not be buying more deodorant when I finish my scented deodorant because my husband was like, oh, I need deodorant. And then I went through his drawer and I found 3 of them. So I will just use some of his deodorant. I don't mind smelling like a man. We used up a thing of Lysol wipes. We have more because we buy it in bulk. I used up a thing of Kirkland conditioner. I'm not going to buy a replacement yet because my husband didn't really, he was like, I kind of have a problem with the Kirkland shampoo and conditioner. So he wanted to try the Dove. The Dove was on sale. I bought it. We still had some of the Kirkland left. I ended up not liking the Dove and only liking the Kirkland. I hate the smell of the Dove one from Costco anyways, so I really only like the Kirkland, but I've got a little bit of Kirkland shampoo left that should be in the March use it up. And then we're going to go back to the Kirkland, but we still have to use up that Dove. And then I also have some Viore shampoo and conditioner bars to use up as well. So who knows when I will be buying. Actually, I know I need to buy more conditioner because I use the conditioner bars to shave. And so I'll just use those to shave. And then I'll buy more conditioner. So that'll be probably maybe this month, if not in April. I used up the rest of the non-bread from the freezer. I would buy a big pack of it from Costco. I'd throw it in the freezer. I'd pull it out frozen and I'd just put it in the oven for a few minutes and it would be perfectly warm and toasty. It was so good. But I'm not going to buy replacements of those. I made just homemade tortillas this last time. And my husband was like, see, you know how to make naan. And I'm like, that's tortillas. And he's like, same thing. So they were very happy with the tortillas. I used up a thing of Costco craisins. I am not going to buy another pack because I have some mini packs from like the schools sending them home. I also used up a thing of mirin, which is like a Asian cooking sauce. I'm not going to buy a replacement for that because we haven't been using it. We've been using rice vinegar instead. So, which I did use up a bottle of that and I bought a replacement as well. I used up a thing of Eco Slay, S-L-A-Y, styling cream. It lasted from November of 2024. It was like 8 ounces of it maybe until February of 2026. I had to keep it in the fridge, but it lasted. It was great. Really good, but I'm trying out the Cantu right now. I have to order Eco Slay online. The Cantu's at Walmart or Target or wherever, and I can just buy it in store. I used up a thing of Curacell foot treatment. I am not rebuying this. The thing is I bought it thinking like I could just put it on my feet and it would like make them softer. And that's not what happened. In fact, I saw a video from a dermatologist that said like one of the best ways to soften your feet is not with those like cheese grater things. In fact, she said that's really bad for your feet. But the like glycolic acid, which my teenager gave me a bottle of that. And yeah, hold on. But they said to just put it on your feet and and then put some lotion over it. Well, I used up the Curacao, and I still have some Vaseline that I was influenced to buy a while back for slugging, and then I slugged like twice and I hated it. So what I've been doing is I've been putting the glycolic acid on my feet, letting that dry, putting lotion on my feet, letting that kind of dry out a little bit, and then putting Vaseline over that, and then putting socks on. And oh my gosh, it feels so good. I actually then tried like the AHA BHA mask on my feet. I will definitely be doing that again, but mostly on the like callus area, like more callus spots on my feet. My feet were so soft after that though, like felt incredible. So I much prefer this, and I will not be buying the Curacao again. I used up a Kirkland bar of soap. Oh, this is one that I just bought too much soap. I bought a Kirkland thing of soap thinking it would only last like a year, and now we're on like year 2 of it. I also, my daughter, there was this lady at the farmer's market who sold toys in soap, and they were like $2, so we would just buy one every time we went to the farmer's market. And now we have like 25 soaps with toys in them, so we're trying to use up all these soaps. So I will not be buying more soap. We used up a Costco hot cocoa container. I bought another one when it was colder months, so we pretty much have a year's worth of hot cocoa to go through. I used up a box of tissues. It was my last box of tissues that I bought in like 2020 in a 12-pack from Who Gives a Crap. We normally only use them when we get colds. Lately, I think some of my tissues have disappeared because we're having to use them more often. But I did have to go buy a replacement of that. Also, I used up a CeraVe lotion, which was like a Costco tub of it. That one I was like, I'm going to use this one because it's got the most used out of it, and it's one of the smaller things. It'll be a quick use it up. And it was. I used the last of it on like the last day of February, but I did use it all up. And now I have the lactic acid lotion out. We're using that, and then I have one more thing of CeraVe, and then I will be able to buy more lotion. And then I used up my AHA BHA mask, and I had bought another one already because I knew I was low on that, and it was one of those things that I always keep on hand because I absolutely love it. I use it twice a week on my skin, on my face and neck, and then now I'm probably going to do it once a week on my feet. Like, and I'll use it on my elbows and knees when I need to if they get real dry. But highly recommend that mask. It's one that like it only takes 10 minutes, and it's just like you put it on clean skin, and then you wash it off, and then you just put lotion on afterwards, and oh my gosh, like your skin feels incredible, looks incredible. What did I finish on my physical TBR? Because that's something I've been trying to keep up on, is trying to read all my books. I finished the Aragon book by Christopher Paolini. I should know this. He came to my school in 4th grade because he lives in my state. But pretty good book. I'll say good, not great. I give it a 4-star, not 5. Although that's honestly because I love spice in my books, and there's not enough romance in these books for me. So great. I would say they're great books if you don't like spice and you just like fantasy novels. Great books. I'm currently reading Eldest, which is the second book. The thing is sometimes like divine timing comes into play, and I was having a hard time reading the books, and then like I kept having these epiphanies in my own life, and then like I was reading the books, and it like a lot of it coincided with what I was having going on inside, and then there was like Aragon was meditating, and it like I tried it in my own somatic meditation, and it's different. I would say it's different. It is. I don't want to say it's working. I don't know what that means, but it is different from what I was doing before, and it is something that I continue to try. But yeah, so I'm having a hard time getting through that book. It's about 700 pages, and I'm just real slow at reading it this time. It's one of those books that's like, Again, good, not great, but has a lot of personal messages in it specifically for me. Like, I know this book was not written specifically for me, but I am telling you, I'm reading this book going, yeah, I am pretty sure this book was written specifically for me. So, like, but during, like, if I had read those passages before I had been through all those personal epiphanies, it wouldn't have made sense, and they only happened like days before I picked up the book again, and I kept not picking up the book, and so like intuition really comes into play too. Things I wanted but didn't buy. There was these really cute moon phase blank cards at Walmart. But I don't write cards. I hate cards. Don't give me a card. I don't want to throw something away that says that you love me on it or whatever. Like, and if you give me a card that's literally just signed love and your name, like, don't waste the money. You know, that thing's going straight in the trash. Like, don't bother. I hate cards. So I did not buy them because I talked myself out of them very quickly. The thing is all of these things I talked myself out of very quickly. So I almost didn't put them on here because I didn't really want them in the long term. Except for one. One of them I'm still thinking about. But the moon, I don't want the moon phase blank cards anymore. I don't want them. I don't want cards. What am I gonna do with cards? I don't write cards. I don't give cards. Pointless. A cordless lamp. I do want a lamp for over there, but not that ugly thing. I was like, oh, a cordless lamp. I want a cordless lamp, but not that ugly one. So this one I'm still like thinking about. There was like a glass domed coffee cup. It was like all glass cup, glass dome, glass bottom, glass straw. Fully dishwasher safe, no bamboo lid. Great. I still am thinking about it, but I'm like, why would I buy that? Like, I have mason jars that I drink out of every morning. Why do I need a specialty cup? So I'm talking myself out of these. Still have no actual, like, the glass dome. I'm still like, come on, it's a cute cup. Aesthetics. But everything else, I'm like, I don't even care anymore. I don't want them. And so I almost, like, I'm putting them on there because I want to show that, like, I do still see stuff and go, ooh, but I immediately talk myself out of them. So that's where I'm at with those, is I've talked myself out of most of them. I'm sure within some time thinking about that cup, I can think of how the, like, dome will hold dirt and it won't be cute after a while, and, like, yeah, it's not worth it to buy. I'll just continue drinking out of my mason jars. So that's my update for the month of February. I know I went a little off topic a couple of times there. But it's always fun to learn new things about random people on the internet. Part of the reason I want to be a psych major is I love learning things about random people. I love having conversations with people and learning about their interests and their hobbies. And I love giving them ideas for what they might do with their life because of those interests and hobbies. I just love hearing about people. So, if you enjoyed hearing a little of my story, I'm glad. I'm so glad. You don't have to comment or anything. Just, I'm glad. And that's all I have for you today. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, remember to be kind to yourself, because this world is hard enough without your inner voice telling you how mean you are, telling you how horrible you are and how you're not good enough. Because you, my friend, are good enough for everything you do, everyone you meet. You are enough. So, be kind to yourself today.